Section 1. A Seed of Doubt, Early Experiences and Love's Blueprint. My earliest memories of love were bittersweet. They were a mix of warmth and confusion, moments of affection intertwined with an underlying tension that I couldn't quite understand at the time. I witnessed affection, yes, but it was often overshadowed by an undercurrent of tension, a sense that something was missing. The hugs and smiles were there, but they were often fleeting, leaving behind a residue of unease. This early exposure to a love that felt incomplete planted a seed of doubt within me, a subtle but persistent question mark that lingered over my own understanding of what love should be. It was as if I was always waiting for the other shoe to drop, for the affection to be withdrawn or replaced by conflict. As I grew, this seed took root. It became a part of my internal landscape, influencing my perceptions and expectations in ways I wasn't fully aware of. I found myself drawn to relationships that mirrored the dynamics I had witnessed in childhood, relationships where affection was present but often felt conditional, fleeting, or tinged with an unspoken sadness. It was as if I was unconsciously seeking out the familiar, even if it wasn't fulfilling. It was a painful realization, to recognize that the love I sought, the love I believed I deserved, was a reflection of the love I had internalized as a child. This realization brought with it a mix of emotions: sadness, frustration, and a deep sense of longing for something more. This realization, though initially jarring, became a catalyst for deeper self-exploration. It was a turning point that prompted me to look inward, to question the beliefs and patterns that had been guiding my choices. It prompted me to confront the ways in which my early experiences had shaped my beliefs about love, my expectations of intimacy, and even my unconscious selection of romantic partners. I began to see the connections between my past and my present, and it was both enlightening and challenging. It was a journey of peeling back layers, of confronting ingrained patterns, and ultimately of reclaiming my capacity for love by rewriting the blueprint that had been handed down to me. This process was not easy, but it was necessary for my growth and healing. This experience, though deeply personal, is not unique. Many of us carry within us the echoes of our childhoods, the imprints of early relationships that subtly shape our understanding of love and intimacy. We are all, in some ways, products of our past, and recognizing this can be the first step towards change. Many of us carry within us the echoes of our childhoods, the imprints of early relationships that subtly shape our understanding of love and intimacy. These imprints, often unconscious, can become self-fulfilling prophecies, leading us to recreate familiar patterns in our adult relationships. These imprints, often unconscious, can become self-fulfilling prophecies, leading us to recreate familiar patterns in our adult relationships. But by becoming aware of these patterns, we can begin to break the cycle. We can choose to create new, healthier dynamics that reflect our true desires and values. Through self-reflection, therapy, and support from loved ones, we can start to heal the wounds of the past. We can learn to recognize and challenge the beliefs that no longer serve us, and in doing so, we can open ourselves up to the possibility of a more fulfilling and authentic love. This journey is ongoing, and it requires patience and compassion for ourselves. But with each step, we move closer to a love that is not defined by our past, but by our present and our hopes for the future. A love that is whole, unconditional, and true. Section 2. The Media Maze. Love through a filtered lens. Our understanding of love, however, is not solely shaped by our personal experiences. It is also heavily influenced by the myriad of images and stories we encounter daily. We live in a world saturated with images and narratives that purport to define love for us. These depictions come from various sources, including movies, television shows, music, and even advertisements. From fairy tales to romantic comedies, from pop songs to social media feeds, we are bombarded with idealized, often unrealistic portrayals of what love should look like. These portrayals often emphasize the magical and extraordinary aspects of love, leaving out the mundane yet significant moments that truly define a relationship. These media-driven narratives, while often entertaining, can subtly distort our perceptions of love. They create a fantasy world where love is always perfect, always exciting, and always fulfilling, which is far from the truth. They present us with a narrow and often misleading view of relationships, one that emphasizes grand gestures, whirlwind romances, and happily ever afters, while downplaying the everyday realities of commitment, compromise, and the inevitable challenges that arise in any long-term partnership. This skewed representation can make us overlook the importance of small, everyday acts of love and kindness that are the true foundation of a lasting relationship. This constant exposure to idealized love can lead to a sense of inadequacy, a feeling that our own relationships pale in comparison to the passionate, effortless connections we see depicted on screen. It can make us question the validity of our own experiences and the depth of our own emotions. It can also create unrealistic expectations, setting us up for disappointment when our own love lives fail to meet the fairy tale standards set by Hollywood. We may find ourselves longing for the dramatic declarations of love and the picture-perfect moments that are often more fiction than reality. Navigating the media maze requires a critical eye, a willingness to question the narratives we are being sold, and to recognize the difference between romanticized portrayals and the messy, beautiful complexity of real-life love. It involves understanding that real love is not always glamorous or easy, but it is genuine and deeply fulfilling in its own unique way. It's about discerning the difference between entertainment and reality, and about defining love on our own terms, not through the lens of a camera or the pages of a script. By doing so, we can appreciate the true essence of love, which is found in the everyday moments of connection, understanding, and mutual respect. Ultimately, love is a personal journey, one that cannot be fully captured by any media portrayal. It is a unique experience that varies from person to person, and it is up to us to write our own love stories, free from the constraints of societal expectations and media influences. By embracing the imperfections and challenges of real-life love, we can find a deeper, more meaningful connection with our partners. We can celebrate the highs and navigate the lows together, knowing that our love is authentic and resilient. So let's step away from the filtered lens of media portrayals and embrace the true essence of love. Let's cherish the real moments, the genuine emotions, and the unique journey that each relationship offers. In doing so, we can find a love that is truly our own, one that is rich, fulfilling, and beautifully imperfect. Section 3, Echoes of the Past, Childhood Patterns in Adult Relationships. The patterns we establish in childhood often cast long shadows, influencing our choices and behaviors in ways we may not even realize. Just as our early experiences shape our understanding of love, so too do they shape our attachment styles, the unconscious patterns of relating to others that we develop in early childhood. These attachment styles, whether secure, anxious, avoidant, or a combination thereof, influence how we approach intimacy, how we communicate our needs, and how we respond to conflict in our adult relationships. For example, someone who grew up with emotionally unavailable caregivers might develop an anxious attachment style, constantly seeking validation and reassurance from their partners. Understanding our attachment style can be immensely valuable in breaking free from destructive relationship patterns. By becoming aware of our own tendencies and triggers, we can begin to challenge and reframe them, creating healthier and more fulfilling connections. Recognizing these echoes of the past is not about assigning blame, but about taking ownership of our own emotional baggage and understanding how it might be impacting our present relationships. It's about recognizing that we have the power to break free from these cycles, to rewrite our own love stories. Section 4, The Love We Think We Deserve, Self-Worth and Romantic Choices. Perhaps the most crucial aspect of understanding our relationship patterns lies in examining our own sense of self-worth. This is because our self-worth acts as a mirror, reflecting back to us the kind of love we believe we deserve. The love we believe we deserve, the kind of love we allow into our lives, is often a reflection of how we value ourselves. If we see ourselves as worthy and deserving of love, we will naturally seek out relationships that affirm this belief. Conversely, if we harbor deep-seated feelings of unworthiness or inadequacy, we may unconsciously gravitate towards partners who reinforce these beliefs. These partners might not treat us with the respect and kindness we deserve, but because of our low self-worth, we might accept this treatment as normal. We may settle for relationships that are unfulfilling, even unhealthy, because we don't believe we deserve anything better. This can lead to a cycle of dissatisfaction and emotional pain, where our low self-worth keeps us trapped in relationships that do not serve our highest good. On the other hand, if we have a strong sense of self-worth, we are more likely to set healthy boundaries, to demand respect, and to walk away from relationships that no longer serve us. This strength allows us to recognize when a relationship is not meeting our needs and to take action to protect our well-being. Building self-love is not a one-time achievement, but an ongoing practice. It requires consistent effort and self-reflection. We must continually nurture our self-worth by engaging in activities that make us feel good about ourselves and by surrounding ourselves with people who uplift and support us. It's about treating ourselves with kindness and compassion, about recognizing our own strengths and accepting our imperfections. Self-compassion means forgiving ourselves for our mistakes and understanding that we are human and therefore inherently imperfect. It's about believing that we are worthy of love, not because of what we do or achieve, but simply because we exist. This fundamental belief in our own worthiness is the foundation upon which healthy relationships are built. The journey towards self-love is a journey towards healthier, more fulfilling relationships. As we grow in our self-worth, we become more capable of giving and receiving love in a way that is balanced and nurturing. When we believe in our own worth, we are more likely to attract partners who see our value, who appreciate us for who we are, and who are committed to building a love that is based on mutual respect and admiration. These relationships are characterized by a deep sense of connection and a shared commitment to each other's well-being. Reflecting on our personal growth and journaling about our experiences can be powerful tools in this journey. By documenting our thoughts and feelings, we can gain greater clarity about our self-worth and the kind of love we want to attract into our lives. Additionally, building a supportive community around us can reinforce our sense of self-worth. Friends and loved ones who encourage us and remind us of our value play a crucial role in helping us maintain a positive self-image. Embracing our self-worth is a transformative process that impacts every aspect of our lives. It empowers us to make choices that align with our true desires and to cultivate relationships that are enriching and affirming.